Hey crew, I've got the key to this 21 Lincoln Navigator Black Label. We are going to take it for a drive, but first let's check out how it looks on the inside and outside. There are a number of changes coming to the 22 model year, so I'll reference those as we go around, but we can appreciate on this 21 the monochromatic grille in black. That's part of the special edition package. Got the illuminated Lincoln emblem at night. LED projector headlights on the Black Label with LED daytime running lights. Pixel design theme is added for 22. Dropping it down, we've got a mix of chrome, body color matching silver, and black gloss. The paint color is called Silver Radiance. It goes extremely well with the blacked out details. 22-inch black gloss wheels on the side with the special edition package. I like this sort of in-motion design theme. Blacked out mirror caps. Navigator is spelled out here. And blacked out roof rails with that special edition package. And with all the blacked out details up top, there's a clean separation with the silver body down low. At the back, more changes for 22. The LED light bar that runs across the tailgate now has welcome animations. I want to see those. Lincoln is spelled out on the chrome strip, or above the chrome strip. And the single LED bar kind of just emphasizes the width of this vehicle. It looks more upscale than the Ford Expedition it's based on. I just think that the new Escalade is really bringing it with the exterior design in this segment. But let's check out the interior. When you open either the front or rear doors of this Black Label, it'll bring down the power folding running board. Make it easy to get into this beautiful cabin. Love this Chalet colored leather with the black piping and contrast stitching, beautiful perforated inserts. Look at how wide these armrests are on these captain's chairs. To get into the third row, you pull this lever, and the seat will angle forward in such a way that you can keep your car seat base in it if you've got smaller kids. To get into the third row is nice and easy with this big alley. You also have a grab handle here. Just walk on back. And I've moved this seat here to its furthest back position. Not fully angled back, it can recline more, but you can see it's 6 feet tall. My knees do clear it, and my head also clears the roof, which is covered in this nice suede. You've got air vents up top. We've got cup holders, storage in both places, and USB ports on either side, along with power controls for reclining the third row. Very nice digs back here, and yes, full-size adults can fit. Now before we show more of the second row, I want to quickly show you the trunk, which does have a hands-free tailgate if you've got the key on you, but you got to walk really far away. I'm not going to show that. Instead, there's a button release there. You can see there's a fair amount of cargo space back here. Ignore the gym shorts. Thick carpeting is really nice. You've got a small bit of additional storage under here. And you've got hooks for grocery bags, a DC socket back here, and power folding controls for the third and second row. You can power fold down and raise the third row, just power fold down the second row. Looking back at the second row, we've got a nice leather up on top in duotone, and down here on the door inserts, this gloss wood trim. The Revel Ultima 20 speaker sound system is here, and the speaker covers remind me a lot of Burmester. Just a favorable comparison. One touch down and one touch up windows. Panoramic glass roof looks really nice, brings a lot of light into the cabin. To fold down the seats, completely collapse when you pull this bar, and they will fold flat. Leather grab handle to get inside. Got some nice storage behind the seat backs, which are in injection molded. Third zone of climate control, heated second row seating. You've got USB, DC, and AC sockets, and cup holders that do come down. All right, let's go check out the front. Where on this Black Label, we have 30-way power adjustable, heated, ventilated, and massaging seats. 30 ways. How can you have 30 ways? Well, for one, you can just adjust one thigh bolster at a time if you want. The same thick carpeting, Black Label tread plate here, power folding door mirrors, beautiful doors. Hopping in. We've got a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster with some cool graphics. A lot of controls on the steering wheel. 12-inch touchscreen infotainment with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, running Sync 3. But for 22, this is upgraded to a 13.2-inch screen running Sync 4. Beautiful materials here. The gloss wood trim, the chrome details. Love the piano key drive selectors. Leather up on the dashboard. This is a very, very nice cabin, guys. The Navigator is bringing it here inside. And tons of storage space, your drive mode selector, but look at all this space under here too. Useful for sure. Let's go take it for a drive now. Here we go. And I did it right this time, but I have almost hit the trailer backup camera button like 10 different times to try to get the vehicle started, because a lot of start-stop buttons are directly to the right of the steering wheel and not up here on the fringe of the dashboard. But I got it right this time. And the Apple CarPlay system already primed up. You do have to plug in your smartphone, so I've done that there. It does take over the whole screen as well, and I think I said 12 inches earlier for the screen. It's a 10-inch display, but I do appreciate that it's on the whole screen. And pretty responsive too. All right, to throw it in reverse, I was just in the G63, so I wanted to use the stock on the steering wheel too. I'm over 2 on these controls here. It's actually the piano key tiles. So there's reverse, and you can see the surround view camera system. You got the bird's eye view. That's your rear facing view. And you can have it take over most of the screen there. There's still like this margin here, so it doesn't take over the whole screen. And then you've got a very wide angle, useful for a ultra large SUV like this one. You do also get rear cross traffic alerts in the Navigator Black Label. There's no front facing camera view, which is something of an omission as I see it. I know you can have that in the Cadillac Escalade, in the GMC Yukon Denali. It's not here. I'm going to go right because I want to do the turning radius test to start us off. Just humming sweetly in the background is that 3.5 liter twin-turbo V6. It's the only engine option for the Navigator. And for 21, it makes 450 horsepower. Quick pause on that. Let's do the turning radius test. Kind of hang out wide here. Crank that wheel. Not too shabby. Certainly not bad for the size of the SUV. Back to the engine. 450 horsepower, 510 pound-feet of torque. For 22, for some reason, tweaks they're making to the engine, it makes 10 fewer horsepower, so 440 horsepower, but the same 510 pound-feet. Stout bit of power too, either 21 or 22, still more than the Cadillac Escalade, its most direct rival. It's a generous amount of power, but you're also moving 6,000 plus pounds of body. It does it very well. And the vehicle can tow 8,300 pounds, and that backup assist button that I almost hit, you'll want to hit, you'll want to use it. Got a lot of body plus a trailer. Don't want to make any false moves. So here we go. It's a very smooth, linear power delivery there. It's not like throw you in the back of the seat power, as 450 might be in a different, smaller vehicle, but it feels certainly up to the task of ushering the Lincoln Navigator along. And that's in the normal drive mode. You have an Excite drive mode that we'll go into in a sec, which hastens the throttle response and tweaks up that 10-speed automatic gearbox. Four-wheel drive system in the Lincoln Navigator. And geez, this ride quality is so good. I had to really double check my facts because I wanted to say, someone asking me earlier, I wanted to say, oh yeah, it's got an air suspension system. The ride quality is amazing. It doesn't have an air suspension system. It just has adaptive dampers. They're just very well tuned, so the ride is amazing. Also, your vantage point as the driver, you've got so much adjustability, 30-way power adjustments for the seats, so that means you can find a very comfortable driving position, and these seats are incredibly comfortable. But that also means that you can absolutely have a good vantage point around the vehicle. Visibility is excellent as well. Nice tall windows. Blind spot monitoring is standard. And while it may not be throaty like the V8 in the Escalade, the engine makes a good sound. And if you listen closely, you can hear the induction from those twin turbos. Let's move the drive mode selector to Excite and enjoy some very interesting and intricate graphics on the 12.3-inch gauge cluster. Now we're in Excite. Throttle response is there, and I'll shift into manual mode, which you can do at any time just by pulling on a paddle. Click it down a few gears. Let's go to 4th and pin it. Interesting. So even in manual mode, it upshifted for me before redline, and the shifts aren't wildly fast either. I upshifted a while ago and it then shifted into the gear. Also, what I don't like is that the tach they've got like this hidden design to it, and so you can't really see when the red line is coming clearly. There it is. Like, it's hidden until the last second. Manual mode is not the ideal for the Navigator, that is very clear. But the mid-range pull is strong. There's good power here. For passing maneuvers on the highway, getting up to speed, no issues at all. 0 to 60, car and driver got 5.2 seconds for the Navigator, which is impressive again for something this size and weight. The quietness at these speeds as well is notable. Apart from the loud motorbike to my right. It's a very well insulated cabin, especially given its large and not truly aerodynamic dimensions. There's that solid turning radius again. And here comes the power. This is a peppy motor. So, well-insulated cabin for the dimensions. You're still going to get some wind noise, but not so much so that having a conversation with your passengers is going to be strained in any way. Maybe to the third row you're going to have to shout, and there's no feature like the minivans have, cabin talk, where they'll pipe your voice in through the speakers to the third row. So you're just going to have to play a bit of telephone. Tell your second row passengers, have them tell the third row. By the time it gets to the third row, you're asking about their shoe size, not to put on their seatbelt. And the ride quality, so good with these adaptive dampers. Said it earlier, but I mean now just in motion, reminding myself how smooth this vehicle really is. This would be an excellent road tripper. The comfort levels in the front seats, in the second row and the third, bring your whole family, or just grab a bunch of dudes, go to Vegas. I don't know. Vegas is not really my thing. But take a nice road trip in style and comfort. Perhaps not as much style as the Cadillac Escalade, but in some style. Comfort-wise, yeah, we're talking, I would say this is a better riding vehicle and more comfortable seats than the Escalade, which did also ride very well. So that's high praise for the Navigator. Let's engage some of the active safety features. I'm going to go into conserve drive mode now. It's one click over. Seeing a picture of the planet Earth. Beautiful. And we'll engage the adaptive cruise control system here. Click on and set. And from my use of this system, I did note that at low speeds, it has too much of a delay before it's applying the brakes, so it'll do kind of crawl speeds, catch up to the traffic in front of it, but it waits until like a frightening moment right before the traffic's there to hit the brakes. So there's some work to be done. The lane keep assist system is not an early response system. It kind of waits till you're right on the borders of the lane. We'll see on left side. It catches you, but you see I crossed over on the lane markings already. So it's not a lane centering system as we're seeing in some other vehicles. It is definitely a lane keep system. So you've made a mistake, you're not paying attention, going over the lane markings, it'll bring you back, but it's not going to be watching ahead to see your steering wheel kind of going in that direction and center you. At lower speeds cruising along, the Navigator is really in its element there. The fuel economy is very good for this segment at 17 combined mpg. I think the Escalade is 16. So that's very good. It's good. In practice, I've not been getting 17 combined from my driving, and I'm not driving it aggressively. I've been getting something like 13. 13 with some pep here and there. But you will go through that fuel tank in short order if you're driving the Navigator hastily. Cruising along, though, as a daily driver, this is very, very good. As I said, I think more comfortable to drive in, more pleasant, with better seat support and plushness than the Cadillac Escalade. Let's do a quick sound system test of the Revel audio system. If you don't want to hear my commentary on this, you just want to hear the sound system, feel free to check out my POV drive, test drive. Let's see about this Revel audio 20 speaker system, 640 watts. Oh, that bass hits nice. This is what volume level? Almost, there's 2/3. Peculiar song for sure. But that really showed me that the bass comes in strong. The sound quality, the volume level, certainly 2/3 audio, that was plenty for me. And the clarity, not a lot of notes that were here and there, pretty simplistic song. But I'm impressed, that's a good sound system. Braking and handling are not going to be the Navigator's leading characteristics, but we'll try out the brakes here. Okay, pretty solid. A little squish to the pedal. The body motions are reasonably controlled. Another hard one on the brakes. Yeah, the pedal is on the squishier side, but it does a good job hauling the vehicle down. I would like more feel from the pedal to give me the confidence that we're going to stop. But if you do that once or twice, you'll know the brakes are up to the task. There's the top heaviness. You expect it, you know it's coming. But on these 285 section tires, if you need to make an emergency maneuver, I would trust it. I wouldn't worry. It feels in control of itself. So to put a bow on the 21 Navigator driving impressions, I'll say this. From the exterior, it's got the style, not as much as the new Escalade, in my opinion. But where it really gets you is from behind the wheel. This cabin is exquisitely comfortable. The material quality is excellent. The seat comfort's there. The ride quality is there. This would make an amazing family SUV. Whether you've got adult children, you're just going to have a bunch of buds in the car all the time. Please don't hit me. In any of these situations, the Navigator is a strong asset. It's got the seat comfort for 7 full-size passengers. The sound system hits. Yeah, it's a win. It is a win. Decent turning radius too. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed my POV parking sensors. Hope you guys have enjoyed my POV drive impressions, and I will see you next time.